Hello viewers, you're watching Afghanistan Report and I'm your host Swati Kunar. The main stories are: Islamic State fighters in Afghanistan flee to Kunar province. Afghan cricket supporters delighted by their performance in T20 in spite of some defeats. Afghans wish for peace while celebrating New Year. Dozens of fighters loyal to Islamic State in Afghanistan have relocated into the eastern province of Kunar following an intense campaign by US warplanes and Afghan forces. We have a report.
Islamic State, also known as ISIS or Daesh, is a relatively new force in Afghanistan, has violently challenged the much larger Afghan Taliban movement in pockets of the country's east. In the past few months, however, stepped-up US airstrikes and a campaign by allied Afghan government forces have driven some from their main territory in Nangarhar.
Daesh faced very heavy casualties in Nangarhar, so they have changed their battleground and came to Kunar. Kunar is a mountainous and forested province and can be a very good hideout for Daesh fighters.
According to US military, the Islamist group numbers some 1,000 to 3,000 members in Afghanistan. US President Barack Obama granted the American military the authority to conduct airstrikes against IS in January. Fighters joining Islamic State are typically former members of the Afghan Taliban or the separate Pakistani Taliban. Adding Islamic State in Afghanistan's mix of various Islamist militants could further destabilize Afghanistan, just as the US has been seeking to withdraw more troops after handing most fighting over to Afghan government forces. The NATO-led coalition in Afghanistan declared its combat mission over at the end of 2014, 13 years after sponsoring an military intervention to topple the Taliban's former government. Roughly 9,800 US troops, mostly military trainers and advisors, remain in Afghanistan.
A large number of people from war-ravaged Afghanistan have been migrating to Europe for safety. However, many of them are trapped at the border as a European Union-Turkey deal to return migrants who cross over to Greece illegally by sea comes into effect. We have a report.
As a new EU-Turkey refugee return program came into effect on March 20th, migrants at the Greek-Macedonian border said they had no plans to retrace their steps towards getting to northern Europe. Under the European Union deal with Turkey, all migrants and refugees who come to Greece illegally by sea will soon be sent back to Turkey once they are registered and their asylum claims have been processed.
Κυρίως φοβόμαστε ότι θα μαζευτεί όλος ο κόσμος εδώ. Όλος ο κόσμος έχει την ελπίδα ότι θα περάσει τα σύνορα. Και φοβόμαστε επειδή λόγω της μη ύπαρξης καλών δομών και αξιοπρεπών συνθηκών διαβίωσης, τα προβλήματα του κόσμου θα γίνουν μεγαλύτερα.
We have planned and stay here and open this border. We go from there, not go from Athens.
At least 144,000 people, mostly Syrians, Iraqis and Afghans, have arrived in Greece so far in 2016 according to UN Refugee Agency data. Thousands still remain there facing a border seal by Greece's neighbor Macedonia. At the migrant tent city at Idomeni, a social worker said he feared hopeful migrants would gather in masses at the border crossing. More than 47,000 men, women and children are currently stuck in Greece, scattered from islands close to Turkey to the fields on Greece's northern frontier.
The new commander of American and NATO forces in Afghanistan recently issued an unreserved apology to the families of victims of the United States bombing of a hospital in the city of Kunduz last year that killed 42 people. The Commander General John W. Nicholson Jr. and his wife Noreen MacDonald, a security analyst, traveled to Kunduz to meet with local officials and families of victims of the attack on the Doctors Without Border hospital in October. The couple's trip was clearly geared toward adding a personal component to the apology. A large number of Afghans living in India are cheering their cricket team playing at the ongoing T20 World Cup. Though Afghan team has failed to register any victory, it has been receiving applause by its fans.
Afghanistan cricket fans consider their cricket team to be fast growing as they have qualified for the T20 World Cup and surprised many by their fascinating performance. The Afghans living in New Delhi are satisfied and say that winning or losing doesn't matter right now as they are new in the World Cup.
बहुत अच्छी खुशी हो रही है क्योंकि वर्ल्ड कप में आए हैं। अगर हार भी रहा है हमें अच्छा लग रहा है क्योंकि बहुत मुश्किल होता है। जो टीम है इंग्लैंड जैसे साउथ अफ्रीका के साथ था, श्रीलंका के साथ था, वो लोग 20 साल से 30 साल से खेल रहे हैं और हमारे में जो है अफगानिस्तान का टीम 5 साल 8 साल हो गई और हमें बहुत फीलिंग हो रही है, अच्छा लग रहा है हमें।
We are so happy because the Afghanistan team is new in cricket and it's a fast-growing team among the cricket. The performance actually it's nice. It's very nice. It's a big opportunity for Afghanistan that after a long time, lots of people are passionate about cricket teams. Yeah, they're excited to see the cricket.
The Afghanistan team has surprised many with their performance. Afghans all over the world are celebrating its gradual rise in the sport. Afghans also appreciate the brotherly bond that Indians share with them. The Afghan team making it to the top 10 in the T20 has got fans excited.
When Afghanistan is loser, we win, so be happy. Because of that, Afghanistan is so be improved from sports. बहुत अफगानी लोग बाहर जाता है वो मस्ती कर रहे हैं, but Indians help from Afghanistan because तो भाई है, दोनों सब भाई है.
Nasrutullah, an Afghan supporter, asserted that they feel very happy when they watch the Afghan team playing with other big teams.
हमारा टीम जो टॉप 10 है वो क्वालिफाई और जब मैं देखता है बड़े-बड़े टीमों के साथ इसने खेल किया और मैं बहुत खुश होता है.
Although Afghanistan has lost matches with world-ranking teams, the Afghan people are still satisfied by team's performance in the ongoing T20 World Cup in India.
Nowruz, Persian for New Year, is an ancient festival celebrated on the first day of spring in several countries, including Afghanistan. In capital Kabul, the people celebrated the occasion with a colorful ceremony and dances. Let's take a look.
Hundreds of Afghan residents in Kabul gathered at the shrine of Prophet Ali, the fourth caliph of Islam, on March 20 to celebrate the arrival of the New Year according to the Persian calendar. As per tradition, Afghans attended the flag-raising ceremony early morning and people wished for a year without war.
یک سال صفا باشه به همه ملت افغانستان، یک سال خوشی و سال آرامش به همه ملت افغانستان است.
از بین رفته از جست جنگ از جست طالبان از جست داعش همیشه چند سال شده غم و فکر تیر کده دیگه خدا از روی این سال غم و فکر از افغانستان برطرف کنه.
Afghan boys danced in the streets of Kabul. The festivities are part of the New Year, which is celebrated in many countries in the region. New Year is marked widely across Afghanistan with popular sites in Kabul as well as in Mazar-e-Sharif being focal points for those who wish to take part in the festivities.
With that, we come to the end of this week's episode of Afghanistan Report. I'm Swati Kundra taking your leave. We'll be back next week with more news and views from Afghanistan. Goodbye and Khuda Hafiz.